Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video on another Retevis mobile radio. This one is the RT95, a dual band VHF and UHF transceiver which has been released under different names, but I've got the Retevis model here today. So the radio operates on VHF 144 to 148 MHz and UHF 430 to 440 MHz, which covers 2 meters and 70 centimeters in the UK, but there is also a USA version available too, and it's packed with features such as up to 25 watts of output power, a working signal meter, 2 VFOs, a bright LCD screen, CTCSS and DCS operation and computer programming with either the Retevis software or Chirp. So if we look at the front of the radio, you'll see the power button and then just below that an RJ connector for the speaker microphone and programming cable. Then we've got 6 programmable function buttons either side of the LCD screen. The function of each of these buttons is down the left and right hand side of the screen, so you don't need to memorise what you've programmed in. Then to the right is a function button and a knob for changing the frequency or channel. On the back is the external speaker jack, antenna socket and power lead, and you may have noticed that there's no fan on this radio and it does output up to 25 watts of power. So the whole body is actually metal and it basically acts as a heatsink. There is also quite a large heatsink on the back to help distribute heat from the radio itself. In the box you get the radio itself, a really nice chunky speaker microphone which has backlit keys, LED indicators for transmit, receive and to tell you which VFO you're on, as well as 4 function keys and a VFO switch button. On the side of the mic is an up and down button with a lock switch just underneath for if you need to disable the function. And also supplied is a power cable and mounting bracket with thumb screws. So the easiest thing to do before we go any further is to program the radio. This way we can set up our function buttons and everything else, which will make it easier to operate in the best way for me or for you. So I've got a programming cable plugged into the radio and into my laptop, and I've downloaded the software from the website and installed it, and as I said earlier, it also is supported by Chirp. As you can see, it's a really simple piece of software for analog FM transceivers, so setup will be really quick and simple. So firstly, I've programmed in a couple of frequencies. If you click on the cells, it opens up a box which allows you to enter your transmit and receive frequencies, channel name, CTCSS and a range of other functions. Function setup enables you to change things like the operating VFO, display, brightness, function settings and a multitude of other things. Key assignment allows you to assign functions to your programmable buttons on the front of the radio and also the microphone. Pressing the function button on the radio allows you to switch to a secondary set of functions, which gives these 6 buttons 12 separate functions. And the microphone buttons just carry 1 feature. The software also has DTMF and 5-tone signalling settings for if you're operating as part of a group, and some other settings which really aren't relevant in amateur radio but we'll cover later in the video. Once everything is set, you can write the file to the radio and you're good to go. So as you can see here, when I switch on the radio, I now have it display my call sign, which is nice, and now the 6 programmable buttons are set for me. P1 is A and B VFO switch, which I have set to channel mode and VFO mode. P2 is VFO and memory switch, so I can exit a memory and navigate the VFO. P3 is monitor, which when pressed opens up the squelch for hearing weaker stations. P4 is squelch level. P5 allows me to switch between low, medium and high power. And finally P6 is set to reverse, which allows me to switch between a repeater's output and input, which is handy for giving a station a simplex signal report to your location when operating on a repeater. As I said earlier, the function button would allow me to switch to another set of 6 functions, but I didn't want to complicate things and those 6 settings are my most used when I'm on the radio. So if I press and hold the function button, it enables me to navigate the menus. Firstly, we have function for setting up things like the keypad and button beep, frequency step size, display mode for choosing to display the frequency, name or channel number, squelch and volume are self-explanatory. PWD is password mode for turning on the radio. Scan resume mode is for resuming the scan after a certain amount of time or when the carrier drops, and scan resume time determines how long the radio stops scanning for. AOP is for automatic power on setup, RDW is for enabling or disabling dual watch, and DIM is for turning the backlight brightness down. Timeout timer is for disabling transmit after a certain amount of time, and APO is automatic power off. Tone burst is for selecting either 100Hz, 1450Hz, 1750Hz or 2100Hz tone bursts for repeater operation in certain areas, and direction allows you to orient the screen upside down depending on how you mount the radio. Speaker allows you to enable the radio speaker or the microphone speaker or both. RTDF enables you to display the transmit and receive frequencies together, and RST is factory reset. The channel menu allows you to set up things like CTCSS and DCS decode, which allows you to find out what CTCSS or DCS tone somebody is using. You can also set up CTCSS and DCS encoding, power output, 5-tone encoding, add optional signalling and signalling setup, but this isn't really used in amateur radio. You can also select your bandwidth as well as frequency reverse, talk around and frequency offset and direction for repeater use. And then finally edit a channel's name, set up busy channel lockout, transmit disable and ID inquiry for 5-tone or DTMF signalling, and this allows you to see who is transmitting. You can also select your P1 to P6 button functions on the front of the radio as well as your microphone P1 to P4 button functions, and then finally DTMF settings. And that is a quick overview of the radio functions and setup. So what we'll do now is put out a couple of calls and see if we can make a contact.
M3HHY, Mike 3, Hotel Yankee, listening GB3 MR.
M3HHY, hello Lewis. How are you doing? Are you for absolutely ages? G1UFM.
Yep, no worries Simon, very good evening, hope you're okay. Yeah, it's been a long time, April. Hope you're doing okay. Nice to speak to you for the first time in a long time. Just testing out a radio, so I'm just filming if you don't mind, Simon. The Retevis RT95, little dual band analog. So yeah, you have to let me know how it's sounding into the box. Back to you.
G1UFM, absolutely superb, Lewis. Really clear audio. Not thin like some sound, but nice, thick, full sounding audio. And obviously you're making it really well into the repeater. Well, absolutely lovely audio. So I presume it's a dual band analog 2 and 70. Yeah? Yeah. There you go. Tell us a little bit more about the radio if you want, please.
Yeah, I can't get used to this repeater without the pip, the K tone. No, it's not a K, it's a pip. Yeah, no worries, Simon. Yeah, it's dual band, VHF and UHF, and it's got a little colour screen on the front. Dual VFO. It's got all the usual features. Obviously does repeaters and stuff. It's tri-power. Yeah, it's really good. I'm just like I said, just filming for a video for the channel now. You're the first contact on it, which is good. Gonna catch up with Royden later on, I think, if he's not busy, but. Yeah, it's good to speak to you. Running into the repeater from this radio on low power with a Diamond V2000 or through a Diamond V2000 on the roof, so shouldn't have any issues getting into the box. You're sounding good yourself anyway. This side, Simon, I wonder what radio you're using. Back to you, G1UFM, M3HHY.
Certainly doing the job. I can just hear you on the input. You're about S3 on the input, so that's okay, because you're approximately 20 kilometres away or so that's pretty good. I've got an X50 just above the gutter in a stunning place. Probably about 25 watts, Icon 9100. So that's what I've got at this end, in case you didn't know. But yeah, your Retevis, absolute, really crystal clear audio. Absolutely lovely, mate. Credit to you.
Yeah, cheers Simon, appreciate that. I'm running 5 watts here. I'm on low power into the repeater, so S3 on the input's not too bad at all, really, considering we're pretty flat terrain between us both. Do you want to have a quick try on simplex at 2 meters and see if we can make the trip? And if not, we'll just meet back on here.
145, 450, Rog.
145, 450. Catch you there.
Okay, nothing heard. M3HHY, G1UFM. Hope you can hear me, Lewis. You come up a little bit there, you're about S5 to S7. I'll have another look in a second. Lovely clear audio again. Working really well on 2 meters.
Yeah, okay, Simon, you're very good signal this side. You're a signal 9 plus. I can't see how far into the plus, but plus, and radio 5, absolutely cracking up here to Romley. So yeah, sounding good. What radio did you say you were on, Simon, or did you? I can't remember.
Just checking now. Yeah, I'm on ICOM 9100. About 25 watts, a quarter power. You are actually just up to S9 actually, to be honest, on 2 meters. So a little bit better signal on 70. You are actually up to S9, so not bad at all, Lewis.
G1UFM, M3HHY on frequency, Simon.
Yeah, hi Lewis. M3HHY, G1UFM. Yeah, it's pretty good on 70 there. Yeah, not bad at all. About a solid S3 to S5. Not bad at all. Lovely audio. Absolutely lovely audio on that rig.
Yep, no worries, Simon. I put the power up to 10 watts anyway. You're just under signal 7, radio 5 though, fully readable. Not quite as good as 2, but still perfectly readable anyway. Like I say, just under a signal 7. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's mutual then. Yeah, it really works. That's exactly what I would expect. My antenna isn't particularly high. I know yours is on your chimney. Mine is just above the gutter height. There is a house.
Okay, so a nice little radio there from Retevis. As you can see, it works pretty well. Managed to get a good couple of minutes QSO there with Simon, G1UFM, very good friend of mine, into the local UHF repeater, and then obviously on VHF and UHF. So yeah, right, I think we'll wrap that one up there. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, drop them in the box below. If you want to get this radio, the link is also in the box below. And all I have to say is 7-3. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.